What was the criteria that you applied to deciding which ones should be winners?
Well, you know what? I have to say I was waiting for that question. I have no answer for it, okay? It was like simply
Whatever
a
grabbed
visual
you?
thing. Yeah, it was a visual grabbing, like you say. Anything that I thought was amusing. In the end, I like funny things, you know? Like, for instance, this one T-shirt, which, do you know, we talk about this one? Because I think it's hilarious. It's like a sort of a sketch of Charles Nelson Riley.
Oh, we're going to get to him.
Okay, all right.
In fact,
okay.
he's with us right now. But before we get to him,
Okay.
Did you spot any professionals in the group of
I
contenders?
Well, no. I honestly, I don't know every single professional designer out there. So could be that some of them were professional T-shirt designers and they had an edge over the others. But a lot of the ones we picked look very kind of, loving hands at home, which is what I like.
But this is a perfect segue because you wanted to talk about Matt, and Matt is on the phone with us. Hi, Matt.
Hey, guys.
I understand you're a devoted listener to this show, but don't you live in Milwaukee?
I do.
Well, can't you be a devoted listener and live in Milwaukee?
Well, we are a local show, although people do listen to
Right,
us all
okay.
over the world. How did you come to hear about us?
Well, I never listened to radio when I was in New York, but I moved back to Milwaukee 2 years ago and kind of needed to feel connected and found you guys through iTunes, and now I don't go a day without listening to you.
How do you earn a living?
I'm a graphic designer.
So you are a graphic.
So you see, he has an edge. We didn't know that, but that's fine, right?
Is this the first time you've designed a T-shirt?
I've done several. It's not my main focus, but whenever I get an idea, I just kind of do it. I don't like wearing other people's logos or designs. You
know what, Matt? I have to say, the design of the T-shirt isn't as wonderful as the idea or the irony that you brought to the phrase "Stop the War."
Right.
I mean, it's not the most. I frankly, like, for a graphic designer, it's fine graphically, but you know what I mean. It's not exactly a feat of graphic design.
Could you describe the shirt for our listeners? Yes.
Okay.
Isaac.
I shall say it's like a sort of a cartoon or like a sort of a caricature of Charles Nelson Riley, right, in black and white, or actually blue and blue, sort of blue on blue. But it's his face, and he has like a peace sign. He's holding up a peace sign with his signature kerchief, Charles Nelson Riley. And it's underneath it says in sort of like, how would you describe those letters? Like, what would you describe them as?
Sort of marquee letters.
Marquee letters that says "Stop the War." So it's kind of like glamorous and very gay, actually. And it says like "Stop the War." Right?
And why did you pick Charles Nelson Riley? He's not someone I associate with political activism.
No, of course not.
Well, that's what's so funny
of
about
course.
it. I mean, it was for the film The Life of Riley, which is an adaptation of a stage play that Charles Nelson Riley himself put on. Amid all the materials I had to work with I did the poster and the website and everything for it. I found this photo of Charles flashing a peace sign, and it just, it was already a non sequitur in itself for him. He's not a political voice, but it just sort of became sort of a universal type thing where, we've got this war going on right now that nobody wants. That was a Nam-era photo, so, I added the words and it just became really funny to me.
It is. It's funny. It's funny. It's ironic, because it is such an incredibly serious phrase, like "Stop the War," and then you have like Charles Nelson Riley, who's the most incredibly funny and unserious person.
And by the way, listeners can see the winners on our show page at WNYC.org. And
I hope you'll send me one, because I would love to have this T-shirt, frankly. I mean, like, that's a hint, okay, Matt? Send me one of those T-shirts. I'm a large, probably, at this point.
And, Matt, we're going to send you something from Isaac, because all the winners are receiving a copy of Isaac's book, How to Have Style, from Gotham. And thank you so much for talking with us today.
Well, thanks for having me.